Let's turn now to Geoff Cornish, Assistant Chief Meteorologist at Accuweather. Geoff, thanks so much for joining us. At least half of the U.S. population has faced an extreme weather alert since May 1. How unusual is that kind of activity at this time of the year?
Well, we are seeing a bit of a transition to the core of severe weather season in the northeastern and the midwestern United States. Statistically, we're not too far from average for the tornado count this year, but it is somewhat common that as we get into the month of June, we do see some severe weather return. This follows, and it seems especially jarring because it follows a quiet spell in the Northeast. In May, Pennsylvania, the state of Pennsylvania, went through the entire month without a single severe weather report. But now it's almost like the dam broke, and we're seeing some of that severe weather return into the Northeast. Part of this has been unusual, especially when we look at the central U.S. We've seen a number of severe storms into parts of Indiana. As the previous report just mentioned, a lot of this is tied to that heat in Texas. There's a ridge of strong high pressure over Texas, and around the periphery of that, sometimes we call it the ring of fire, areas on the northeastern and northern fringe of a big dome of high pressure are where we see severe weather and clusters of severe storms tumble. So this evening, we have some really strong storms moving through the Northeast, impacting a great number of people in the populated I-95.
And Geoff, when we see these sort of extremes in temperatures and rain and conditions such as that, many wonder how much of it is tied to climate change, how many are other factors like El Nino, for example?
Well, when it comes to El Nino and that Pacific Ocean water temperature, we had a 3-year-long La Nina, and we're still in transition from that to El Nino, which is now becoming established, and that will likely be building as we get deeper into the summer and fall with some stronger correlations into the coming months. Especially through the winter months into California, for example, where we could see another robust round of rain and mountain snow. It depends on who you ask. There are a variety of opinions in the world of meteorology and climatology as to how specifically can we attribute any of these events to climate change. Climate change is certainly a factor, but there's also, if you look at the historical record, there is a lot of severe weather that's happened centuries ago as well, and it's all about just staying prepared. So as a meteorologist, I can't fully weigh in on the climatological perspective, but from my perspective, we need to stay prepared because there will be more storms to come as we move on through the next few days, and especially this evening and tonight, even after it gets dark for I-95. But climate change likely an influence, but there's also some historical noise and many other cycles that are also playing a role in the severe weather that we see this time of the year.
Okay, Geoff Cornish, thank you so much for your time. We will leave it there.